All right, welcome back to Blades, Power Within Xiangxi Stories. The last time we met our crew, Smoke on the Water, a crew of assassins that were given a job by Yuki's contact, Asui, who asked them to go to the Shintori apartments, excuse me, and do a kill and rescue. She wanted them to kill a necromancer who had abducted a friend of hers, apparently. And she wanted the necromancer dead and Yijun rescued, but if he couldn't be rescued and was thralled, he needed to be killed as well. And his soul shard recovered. That seemed to be the most important part of that bit. The crew very masterfully avoided the front entrance to the building. Went in through the roof, dealt with all the traps, but then got caught up by, or at least a couple of the members got caught up by a musical box that drew them into a separate room before their allies could react. Once they got past that, once they were kind of recovered from the trance, Banshee busted the box, and her and Shadow killed the spirit that sort of appeared afterward, and that is where we have left off. So, Banshee and Shadow, what do you guys do after this spirit kind of dissipates after you vanquish it?
Does it sound like we were noticed? I mean, I know we were noticed, but I guess, do we hear like a commotion?
Do you hear a commotion? Yeah, I would say, and Dre, and you also, you obviously kind of heard this go down in the room that they ran into. So before I answer that question, what did you two do when that happened?
I literally just watched them, like, because we were impacted, or like we fought it off at least.
Yeah, you guys, you, because Yuna, kind of, I believe, like, kind of just like magically blocked it out, and she was successful with that.
I'm crazy enough; the other crazy didn't impact me.
That's what it was. She was like, she kind of like called on Eva Goth and was like, I'm listening to that voice, not any other voices.
Yes.
And then Dre perforated his own eardrums to just not hear anything. So
Eva Goth is your god, right?
Yes.
Is that like a Archduke of the Ancient One or some shit? Because wasn't it like god. Ancient One flavored or no? Am I making that up?
Remains to be seen.
Okay. Just was curious.
He's a new god as far as Yuna knows.
New god on the block.
She is his prophet for like as much as she wants to be. I don't know if that's what he thinks, but she would love to be his prophet and bring the masses to Ibuka because he's amazing.
Nice.
But yeah, so Dre and you guys, you saw them run in. There was a bit of clatter in there. Excuse me. And once that like bit of noise as that noise is happening in there, and it's kind of, you hear that scream from the spirit as it pops off, and that scream, you sort of
question, would they?
What's that?
Would they? Because that silence potion was still active.
No, it had dissipated by the time Banshee smashed the music box.
Okay. I didn't know how long several moments is for this potion, so.
Me neither. I felt like with the way the scene was playing out, like by the time she went over there, like it would have dissipated.
For sure.
So that scream goes off, and you almost hear like the scream happens, and then below you hear almost like a horde of screams in response. It just sounds like a crowd of zombies, basically, screaming kind of in response. So what do you? And so you guys in the room hear that as well. So what do you guys do?
So I guess the question is, are we still dazzled?
Yes, that dazzled.
That lasts until the end, right?
Yeah,
it ends.
Well, it would technically need a healer to deal with, because it is harm. So that sticks on. And so like what the lingering effects of that mean, we can determine later. But
for 1D, is that like, so dazzled itself? It says the little thing is minus 1D. Is that for everything or just things that you think apply?
It's only stuff that's applicable, and it's only when both of those boxes are filled in.
Gotcha. So right now we don't actually have a penalty for our stuff yet. Okay.
Correct.
That was my next question.
Cool. If I was gonna say if nothing immediately pops out, Banshee would just try to bust through the door, basically. Like, we know this is where the necromancer is. Her trap caught us. You know, we were surprised they were not, so fuck it. Like, the most direct, fast option is what Banshee thinks is the best.
Yeah, so this was a kind of a side room in the opposite direction. So you guys kind of
so we got pulled away. So I had envisioned we got pulled into a room, and in that room was a door, but the door that we know where the necromancer's at is away from this like little hallway section. Okay.
Yeah, it's like like going down a different hallway. So you guys can leave this like Yuki, you had seen that there was a like arcane like lock on the door. That's gone now. Apparently killing the spirit.
Yeah, running out the door. And then like coming out the door to the necromancer.
So, you know, have you played like Deus Ex? I think it's Human Revolution is the one.
The remake from way back, or like whatever it was. The one.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm envisioning and what I'm trying to do is there's some way that Banshee's optics can kind of spot out a weak point in the wall into the necromancer's room and just go straight into the hallway and bust through the wall instead of like going to the door.
Okay, so you guys are just beelining it for.
I'm trying to run straight for where the fuck they're at. Like fuck a door, fuck a wall, juggernaut through this bitch, if possible. Unless it's like fucking concrete or some shit.
Is everyone just kind of like following behind Banshee as she just kind of like charges towards the direction that Una would have had a pointed or two?
Yeah, because I assume we got to a point where we were like, this is where it's at, and then that's when the trap hit us and we kind of ran off into a different direction.
Yeah, that's right. So Banshee kind of comes out and she just starts charging towards where she knew, or at least suspects where the necromancer is.
May not even be the necromancer's room, but fuck it.
So yeah, you run down this hallway, and you get to a point, and it's fairly obvious that like again like you saw this from above where like the structure was completely different. This wall is you know it's completely metal. There's a door, like a new fashioned door, and almost like a keypad sitting there. But let's see. I'm gonna do a fortune roll.
Okay.
And we'll see if there's a spot. Excuse me. There's a spot in the wall that would be possible. Let's see. Is there an advantage here? I don't think so. I think we're just going to go with one.
It's a whole building, unless this is remade too.
This portion is. This section of it is remade.
Dang, I tried.
So we'll do 1 to 3 is bad result, 4 to 5 mixed, 6 is a good. See?
It's hidden.
Okay. So 4 to 5. You know what? I like that. Yeah, it's there. There is a spot that can be busted through, but it is pretty difficult to kind of discern. You would need an action roll to actually like find it.
Okay, so I need to find those words again. is it like study or survey or hunt, or which one would that be? I guess not hunt. Hunt's more like person.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's whatever you feel is that she would do in this moment. And it may not be necessarily.
Oh, that's her. It's over here.
It may not necessarily be like the best option in terms of like dice that you have.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. Where are the actions terms? There they are.
Banshee, don't you have bombs?
So I think it's survey compared to study. Like study is close scrutiny on a person, document, or item. Survey is like surveying a location or situation, understand what's going on, sense trouble before it happens, or gather information about opportunities or exploits. That sounds like breaking through a fucking wall. So
like breaking through a fucking wall to me.
I would attempt to do a survey. Yeah. I need to fucking screenshot that. That needs to always be available for me.
And I think this is a risky standard, unless you want to trade position or push yourself.
No, that sounds good to me. Okay. Would anybody like to assist or give me a devil's bargain?
I would like to assist. So what I'm thinking of is, as I'm seeing you essentially juggernaut down the hall, I kind of slide forward and give you a little bit of a Philly tush push and kind of guide you.
It's a very specific joke, bro.
Precision.
That's a joke for one people in this chat.
Right. It's the one person I'm talking to.
Hell yeah.
That's all that matters, man, is as long as that connects.
That's right, man.
As long as it connects.
I better stop it.
My bad, dog.
It's like a circle.
Okay.
You're surveying. I think mine would be more accurate to study, since I'm pretty much trying to identify a weakness in that item.
Are you just assisting? You just giving them the dice? So you're just taking stress for that.
Okay.
So you just like explain, like you basically just explain like how you're helping out as you come up.
All right. So I'll do what plus? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
So I'm taking +1 die, risky standard,
and rolling. Stress. Partial success.
I needed that die.
Let's see. You do it, but there's a consequence. All right. So, yeah, you. What does it look like? How does she like find this spot in the wall?
So she's kind of got like those cybernetic implanted eyes. So she kind of quickly, I guess, just bullshit wise, she would change them to some sort of like thermal vision to where she could see a like kind of thickness, like, you know, the heat's coming through the wall better here versus like here. So she finds a thinner part of the wall construction, aims for that, and literally just lowers her shoulder, and she's got Dre pushing her from the back, just kind of barrels through it like with reckless abandon, so she could completely fall on her ass on the other side.
Okay, so sorry, this was my bad. I didn't explain.
You're good.
This was to just see where the weakness was.
Copy.
To actually, like,
yeah. You're right. No, this is the survey. So the how she would have done that is change her optics to try to find a weak point in the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I don't think she would suffer any harm from that. But I think a complication would happen, and I think the complication is that screaming of a horde that y'all heard is coming up on you guys. Like it is. You've got like a moment. You can see them like kind of piling into the hallway. Just this crowd of about, I'd say maybe 20 hollows kind of rounds the corner.
So we can see him coming now.
You can
Is
see
a
him coming.
hollow a zombie?
Okay. Kind of. They're kind of a zombie. Within the lore of TPW, because this is a thing brought over from Blades, they are a person whose soul shard has been removed, but are still alive. And they are controlled generally by whoever holds that soul shard, which is usually.
We are
usually
getting into some voodoo stuff.
Yeah, it's like the soulless.
Like a voodoo zombie. I like brain eating zombie, like a voodoo zombie.
Old school zombie.
Okay.
So they are generally like, fairly mindless. They can have reason if basically granted it by their handler or necromancer or whatever. This crowd, if and again, like if they are not like preserved, they do start to rot and stuff like that. So there are a few that come running around that are like, their faces are drooping. They've got half of their skin peeling off, their eyes are kind of hanging out, while others are like a bit more like new, for lack of a better phrase. They're still kind of human looking, but they are acting like a 28 days later zombie, kind of frothing at the mouth, coming at you. Yeah.
Someone's running the Edo Tensei.
Yeah, really bad version of it. Especially if their bodies are decaying.
So they are, they are coming up on you. So what do you do?
I guess it's time to break that fucking wall, bruh. Target sighted, run through wall. We need to get out of here.
And we are gonna follow and just if this is like cartoonish, but it's like if she hits the wall and doesn't go through, like we all just hitting the wall with her because like we're ready to follow her.
I see an opportunity in a scene. So they're running up on us. They're right there. As I was just assisting him find this spot, I essentially want to take one of these zombies and do a barrel flip and just kick them right through that weak spot and break down the door.
Okay, that would be pretty tough, I'll say. What action would you use for that?
Finesse, probably, or skirmish.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Are they that? They got that close? Because you said they were climbing up. Are they on the opposite? With like, where's the stairs at? Is it like in the middle of this hallway, and we're on the end? Are they on the other side of the hallway? Are they coming up like the door is like right there next to the wall that we're trying to bust down?
We can say that the stairs were like at the end of the hallway, and they are like halfway. I would say they were halfway through the hallway, but if Dre was wanting to wait until one of them got up to him, we can just say one of them was real quick, and it's just right there. Yeah, that's if he wants to do what he's doing.
Yeah, you got the sprinter, and I'm gonna use that sprinter momentum and shove them right through that door.
Potentially, and we don't. I guess we don't have a ton of time to think in this situation. I don't know if y'all got wreck or could bust through walls, but potentially if busting through this wall is a problem and y'all need to go through the door, I could try to hold off the hollows because I've got the could fight a small gang on equal footing thing. A bunch of hollows kind of sounds like a small gang. So like I could hold them at the hot gates, to let y'all go do your thing if you need to.
And so just to kind of inform your decision on that, I just want to, because it is pretty specific wording. Let me just double check. So I think a small gang, or equivalent is, I believe, about five people.
You said it was like 20 hollow?
Yeah. I think it's
that's
like
4 small gangs.
I think it's 5 to 10. I want to double check.
Okay. I
yeah,
may
small
not
gang
be able to do that.
A small gang is 3 to 6 people.
Okay.
So you get just to kind of inform that whatever decision y'all make.
Well, then maybe we don't do that.
Nobody wants to pull a bandolier out of their butt cheeks and throw a bomb down the hall.
I was about to look and see if I had such a thing.
I mean, we can just pick out of our like whatever we need, however many times we opted for, or did I misunderstand that rule?
Say that again.
I'm gonna get the terminology wrong, but we basically at the beginning of this selected like light,
our load,
normal or heavy, whatever that was, and don't we just get to? Yes, don't we get to pick out of a list of things? But it's like you get 3 or you get. So is there a bomb in that pick list?
Well, I do have something called demolition tools. I don't know if that's like you got to set it up, but.
So demolition tools.
I'm assuming it requires more like pre-time, not like it's not a fucking satchel I can throw and it explodes. I'm assuming it's more like C4 you have to set up and then detonate.
Yeah,
we don't have any leeches though, so we can't have any bandoliers. So
yeah, like certain playbooks will have specific items, Maggie, to answer your question.
How do I have a bandolier listed in mine, but I don't know if I did it right. So
you're a whisper.
Mm-hmm.
Whispers have demon bane charm, electroplasm vials, fine lightning hooks, fine spirit mask,
I must just see
ghost
all
key,
of the things.
and spirit bot. Yeah, like the classes are in the parentheses. So the W is all the whispers, the SPs are spiders.
I understand now.
Yeah, and then
I was
all
just like,
the
that's
other
a
ones.
lot of options.
Oh yeah, an easier.
I was like, dang, you get a lot of shit.
An easier way to kind of like at a glance is to just look at the Blades player kit. If you go through your web view and go to that link.
I couldn't find the playbook specific items though. I was just looking at that.
Well, it shows them. It shows them under the playbook, like off to the side. You can see like their I believe their specific thing should be.
Oh, I see it now. It's in the gray versus the white. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And all right.
Then,
I retract my question then. Is it?
No.
That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're still learning.
Yeah, I am. You know, this is my second time running it, so any questions are good questions because it helps me as well. And I think I just want to look at the. I think if you look at the playbooks in the actual Blades playbook or Blades guide, it also explains those in more detail. So like Travis, when you're talking about the demolition tools, those are listed as a sledgehammer and iron spikes, heavy drill, and a crowbar.
Gotcha.
So let's see. And so,
which I mean, a sledge might be nice to break through a wall.
I made it could work.
You know,
makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
To Cal, to Dre. Were you wanting to still try that maneuver?
Yes.
What action were you wanting to do?
Since I'm pretty much flipping it, I was thinking finesse, but if you think something else is more fitting, I'm fine with whatever.
It's not up to me. It's the only thing I determine is the position and the effect of whatever you choose. And how much that kind of matches whatever the fiction we've come across. So like with this, with a very with a structured wall, reinforced wall, even though it has a weak point, flipping a fairly desiccated zombie, not desiccated, but even this one is I would say a regular person still would still be very tough. That would be tough. So I think no matter what, it would still end up being limited effect starting off. Again, you can trade position for effect or push yourself for more effect if you want to.
What is trade positions again?
So that turns this, which I would say would be a risky standard, that would turn that risky into a desperate. And so that just increases potential consequences. But it also will give you greater effect. So that would turn it from limited to standard. So instead of like, maybe it kind of cracks the wall but doesn't bust it, like if you succeed, then it'll fully bust it down. It'll do what you want it to do.
Let's go for it. Let's trade positions.
Okay. So that is a desperate for standard. And when you and I forgot this last time, when you roll a desperate when you make a desperate roll, whatever stat that's in. So what are you rolling? You're rolling a finesse.
Yes.
So you would get you would tick a XP in prowess. You get 1 XP every time you roll a desperate roll, and you get an XP in whatever
does
it's.
That mean I just click on prowess?
I think you click on the
tick.
The tick.
You click the tick, and then I think it turns a different color.
Yeah, it turns red.
There you go.
So you had another one as well, I think earlier. You had another desperate roll. In finesse, so you actually have 2. So this will give you 2 ticks of XP in prowess.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a finesse roll for desperate standard. Oh, a failure. Suffer severe harm. A serious complication occurs. So I'm gonna say that the complication, what happens here, you guys lose this opportunity. You can no longer try to get through that weak point. You try to bust it down, and you actually find like it was almost kind of a bait. You try to bust it down with that zombie. It slams into it, and it almost like it's like an arcane, like it almost was a trap effectively. There is a kind of shock. The hollow flies out, like it's just like zapped, and these writhing tentacles come out of the wall, and they grip onto you, Dre, onto your leg so hard that you kind of feel the bones starting to crack. Now you can resist. You can resist this complication if you want to.
That's fucking trash.
Let's do it.
How do you just fuck out?
So that would be a prowess resistance. And so just to kind of clarify what resistance rolls are doing here, let me just go back and just kind of read verbatim. So, when your PC suffers a consequence that you don't like, you can choose to resist it. So resistance is always automatically effective. But what I tell you is if the consequence is reduced in severity or you avoid it entirely. In this instance, it's just going to be reduced. So the consequences here are there's the tentacle wrapping around, and that is actually going to deliver harm. It's going to be a level 3 harm of shattered leg, and then also the lost opportunity in terms of not being able to get through that weak point. You can resist one at a time, so you can resist both if you want, but it would require 2 rolls. And what this is doing is you're basically taking on 6 stress, and then you are rolling to whatever you roll is minus that 6 stress. Does that make sense? That's what you're rolling basically when you roll it. So this is a
prowess for that.
Yeah. So which one are you resisting? Are you resisting the tentacle or the lost opportunity?
The tentacle.
Okay, yeah, that would be prowess, and that's just going to be a reduced consequence. So it'll go from level 3 to level 2.
Okay. And do I need to change any modifiers or anything, or just roll it?
Just roll it. No stress, and the only thing you get is on the level 2, the other block filled in, yeah, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, that's why I was typing it.
No problem. So Dre, in that second box on the level 2 harm, you would have like cracked leg. And so now, like, because that box is filled in, if anything is applicable to what he's doing, he will have a -1 dice to the roll.
So it is that, not when both are filled out?
Both of his are filled in.
Oh.
He has a damaged eardrum.
Yeah, he did
well.
mine earlier.
Damn, he can't hear and his leg's busted? Die.
Dre's out here being the most daring.
So play this out. As the zombie's running towards me, my idea was to grab and flip it, but my equilibrium's off from me damaging my ears. So when I go to grab him, I like completely misjudge it. And so he pretty much bulldozes me as he goes through, and I kind of push him instead of grabbing him. And once he hits it, I'm already off balance. And then so he goes flying back, hits me again on the way out. And then the thing grabs my leg, and I'm able to jump back just enough to kind of
avoid the worst of it. Awesome. So yeah, Yuki, as that's going on, you are trying to get to this pin pad, and you want to try to use your lock picks to kind of get through it.
Yeah, like what is it? The idea was like, hear the hordes, they're running up. I see like Banshee trying like about to muscle through this wall, and I'm just all like, like just go over there and look at the lockpick, like focus in on it as best as I can, push myself, because now it's a dangerous situation, and it's like be as fast as possible, and I can feel like the hollows moving in, and they're screaming on this side. I hear their shades on the other side screaming, which is making them feel a little bit more nervous. But that, like, the focus is to finesse this and pop open the door as best as possible and as fast as possible. That's what I was trying to do.
No, that makes sense to me. You said you were going for finesse for that?
Yeah, and I was gonna push myself, or if somebody has like a
I got you, bro. I got the perfect idea.
Let's go, bro.
So yeah, you're over there clicking away, and
don't worry, I've got your back.
I just go stand in front of him, and like all the hollows that are basically running around, if any come down this way, I just try to slice them up.
Okay.
Make sure none get to him.
The first few are rolling up on you, and yeah, she's just kind of going at it, to keep him off you, Yuki. So this would be desperate for standard.
Desperate for standard, and
then
I will. All right, does that mean you're giving me a die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And then D for the nerfed or buffed, however you look at it, stress cost. Was it 3 for myself and 2 for an ally? Do you remember?
That's correct.
Okay.
I believe that's what we decided on. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna mark 2.
Hold on. So what happens to me?
You just get one die.
You get
oh, okay. Gotcha. I was like, do I get 2 stress?
No, you're good.
Nope, I just take the stress.
I will, because of that. It's all like, all right, I don't want him to die. So I'm gonna take the stress to push myself to get 4.
Okay. And this is a desperate roll, so make sure you mark your XP.
Yes,
under
sir.
prowess.
And then you said the effect is standard, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Boom.
hey,
you
I
do
got
it.
a 6, baby.
You do it. So yeah, what does it look like as he kind of gets through this lock?
Yeah, it's like I pull out like the lockpicks and everything, and they're all glistening silver and whatnot, beautiful little things. And then like I pop the back end, I mess around with like the wirings, and then like a little bit of shock adds to it, and it's like opens up, and I'm like, get inside. And then like literally like cause what Dre's leg is like jacked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like for
He's still
flavor,
he's still able to walk, but he's like kind of hobbling a little bit. at this point.
can I do for flavor with the success? Like I throw like my own shade around, like to like be under his body, so he can like have like a walking cane to move a little bit faster.
Absolutely.
And then, so yeah, that would be cool. And then like get inside the door, and then try and close it behind me or whatever, if we can.
You know, where do you see yourself in all this? Like, how can I yell at you?
He's probably just watching. She's done her job.
Are you like next to us or what?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She's not. She's internally freaking out. She's not externally freaking out. We're too cool for that.
Right.
But she's standing near you guys and kind of doing the. Okay, are y'all actually gonna get this done? Like, are we gonna get run into by these things? So when the door pops open, she is definitely ready to slide smoothly into the space and not get knocked up by some hollows.
Alrighty, so you guys kind of rush into the room. Would you be able to close the door in time?
It's a good question.
I mean, it could be a roll.
I'm gonna do a fortune roll.
Because, I mean, it definitely seems like they're out to get us. And, yeah, it would make sense that it would be fucking difficult. I'm almost voting it's a fucking action by somebody.
I'm just saying, like, if we did that, like, again, I can do another finesse roll to try and, like, close it on the inside and then kind of, like... Well,
I mean, we got to get the door closed first before you can lock it.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If it is... If like once I popped open the thing and did that, did it open automatically, or do I have to open it?
No, it popped open automatically. So it's almost like so. And forgive me on this one. I didn't really explain it. It was almost like what do you call it? Almost like the automatic doors where they slide into a slot. So it was basically that.
Gotcha.
So then that's what I was assuming. Like on the other side, I can go back onto the other keypad.
I was imagining a physical door, like a type of door.
No. It was like a sliding door.
Gotcha.
Cool.
A very cyberpunk door.
If it's an action, it's an action. Let's roll.
I mean, you can do.
You know what?
Whatever D thinks.
Yeah. Let's see if what would you roll to try and get this sucker closed again as fast as you could?
Me is the finesse part, and then just doing the same thing, but just on the other side. If somebody else wants to assist and like physically do it too, like it is what it is. Yeah.
You're muted.
Do I just take a stress to do that to help him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just take stress to give him +1 die.
So as he's got me essentially up under me, helping me get through the door, I see him swing his body to close the door, and I do a little kick around his body as he's turning to help with the thrust of closing it.
Okay. And Banshee, are you trying to engage on the
No,
hollows?
I was trying to read the full thing, and I thought that bubble meant open the rest of the the window there.
I did the same stuff.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to engage with them.
So Yuki, you are trying to finesse this lock back in. Now since you did kind of like jimmy rig it to open it up, it's gonna be a little bit harder to actually to get it closed, especially as quick as in the sort of position that you guys are in. So this one's going to be desperate for limited starting out.
Could I do a devil's bargain?
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I think, since it is so desperate and all these things, that Banshee is holding them off on the other side, and Yuki has to time it with Banshee for her to jump through before it closes. And if the timing is off, either they get through or none of us get through.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. It was up to you, Mo, and I think, what does that give you? That will give you a die if you accept it. They give you a +1 die.
I like the story, man. Let's roll with it.
Yeah, I'm digging that one.
Yeah, so I would say, just like you open the door, you guys run through, and you're like, give me a moment, I can close it. And then Banshee's like,
I'll hold him off. Just let me know the timing. I can hold him off for long, but I'll jump through.
Don't worry.
Oh my
I got
dude,
it.
let's go. So that gives you, whoa, nice. Partial success.
Well, I'll take the harm.
Yeah.
Like take like a shock or something. I'll take that. Or something.
Let's see. Serious complication occurs. So here's what I think is gonna happen. So, excuse me. So Banshee, you're able to kind of get through, right? You pull back at the last second. The door closes, but not all the way. One of the hollows is able to kind of get its body through, but the door is stuck for the moment.
sure.
So it's basically like in a locked position. They'll be able to get through eventually, but it's got a delay. So you know what? I'm gonna start a clock. Get another
Sick.
clock here.
Can we cut its arm off?
Chop it in half, door closes.
And so this clock door is busted down. Show to others. That is just going to be a 4 o'clock. Can y'all see that one?
It did not pop up, but there it is.
That one?
Yeah.
There we go.
Sick.
Door is busted down. And that's going to have 1 tick filled in already.
Yeah. All right.
And
Copy
so
that.
you guys get into this room, and it is this kind of like creepy lab. You see like a bunch of like body parts strewn up, a lot of blood everywhere, like kind of pooled on the ground, like a lot of dried blood, a lot of equipment everywhere. And like around the corner, you hear like this like soft screaming, like just like, help, please, someone help me. And you hear a woman's voice. I hate whiny men. Shut up. And as you kind of like come around the corner, you see like there's another section closed off. There's like a almost like an observation window, and you see a door next to it, an observation window, and in this like really like grotesque lab, on the other side of this door, you see a dude laying on a table, kind of like writhing. He's got like a bunch of like arcane sigils and stuff like actually like carved into him. You can see like the kind of the blood pooled all around him. He's bare chested. You see like all the stuff kind of like being written on him like with a like precision tool by this woman. And she kind of looks up as you guys round the corner, and she says, God, guys, getting annoying. I thought the Hollows would have dealt with you already. Zahara's gonna be pissed. Poo-poo. And she kind of snaps her fingers, and you feel, especially you, Yuna, you feel kind of the rift of the ghost field next to you, like rip apart. And through it, you hear like this like grotesque gurgling and gagging almost. And through this like tear in the ghost field, this like disembodied spirit of Pookie Pookie comes floating through.
Fuck yeah.
And it's completely desiccated looking. It's floating in, and it's just like, its mouth is just completely dangling open. It can't close it. It's missing an eye. The other eye's like drooping down. The wings are flapping, but like asynchronously. It comes through, and then it just kind of starts going like, it just starts spraying all this filth everywhere. And I forgot to do this last time, but whenever a spirit kind of shows up, you have to do a resolve resistance roll to avoid like freezing or like panicking in fear.
Can I try a Pookie Pookie sound?
Yeah.
See how it goes.
What was that? Do it again.
I gotta play with these things. They're so fun. There's this little zombie sound effects.
That's funny.
So it's a which thing?
So it is
roll.
It is a resolve resistance roll to avoid freezing or panicking from fear. So this would be like I'm gonna say level 2 fear starting out. And if you pass it, then you're not.
And it's everyone. So are we passing or are we taking less stress?
Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, you are just taking less stress. So like just resolving is automatic. So like this one is just an avoidance.
So if we could choose not to do this if we wanted to save our stress and then just take the harm.
Correct.
Like take the fear.
Yeah. You don't spend stress unless you want to.
So like I don't know, Yuna, if you don't have any of those harms, so potentially you could say I'll just take the fear and save my harm, especially if it's like, if you're getting close to like filling your stress up completely, something like that. Just strategically.
I have 4 stress left.
Seems fine.
Yeah.
Oh, the cool looking people are leaving.
It's poopy time.
So real quick, so like how big is the room?
So the room, I would say, if we're going by like very handy thing here I have. So like there's a difference in areas. This is like a 2. It's a large room.
Large room
in terms of area.
And so Yi Jun, is he in this large room or is he in the next one?
He's in a separate room.
He's in a separate room. So how many separate rooms are there?
Just one. Just
the one that he's in.
Right.
Xiaohua is in that room with him as well, or is she in the large room with us?
She's in the room with him.
All right. So the undead Pookie Pookie dropped in the large room. She said something about Zara.
I was gonna ask, did anyone catch the name? I thought it was like Czar.
Yeah. She said Zara's gonna be pissed.
Zara, is that with the X or Z?
Z.
Z. Okay.
I mean, who knows? She didn't spell it out, bro.
Well, I'm asking the dungeon master.
That's very meta, bro. We don't know.
I don't care.
There's no necessarily hidden information if needed.
Okay, so now we this thing drops. So I guess like the next thing is like Avengers Assemble. What are we all doing in this scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. First thing, and like, give me the light setting. Is it like this where it's like low light? There's like trickles of like certain shadow spots.
Yeah. It's very low light. There's a few. Some of them are flickering. Yeah, you've got plenty of shadow spots. Like if Yuki was like trying to hide somewhere.
Legitimately, Yuki is using like he's pulling his fine shadow cloak and then like dropping into the shades. Like he's moving into the shadows to creep up. Like
I
he
think,
wants
like-
to get up in her shit.
Correct me if I'm assuming too much, but I would assume that our standard op is like Banshee rushes is the vanguard, and the sneaky bros do their sneaky shit and come in for whatever sneak attack / flank type shit, and then Yuna is behind me doing some sort of arcane wizardry. Are we assuming that is his name Lil John? What's his name? Lil Jim. Is Lil J still with us, or is he just kind of poof out of existence?
For this purposes, he's kind of pooped out of existence. Like,
All right, so he's watching he's on the exit route. He's securing the extract. Okay.
What if he's fighting the zombie horde?
No.
No, he's dead.
And
he stayed on the roof.
And just so you're aware, Yuki, there that adjoining room that Jiahua and Eugene are in has a door connecting it. So you wouldn't be able to just go right up to her. There is a door block.
We have to somehow get in there. And then so Dimitri, correct me if I'm wrong, but a Pookie 1v1 seems hard. Is it something that might not to be trifled with when I perform a feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman? Would like 1v1 wrestling a Pookie deem such a thing? Or can I 1v1 it without that?
I think that would totally count for that for sure. Yeah, I think 1v1ing normally would be pretty tough. But definitely with not to be trifled with, that is something you could do for sure. And I'm also starting another clock here. So many clocks. We're in Blaze time.
I guess knowing that there's an actual door, the idea that Banshee is the vanguard, like taking the brunt, and then me and Dre doing our separate like flanking, kind of like wolf attack, makes the most sense. But regardless, still take out the shadow cloak and get into the shadows to set up and go in for that flank with Dre.
Totally.
I think that'll be nasty if we do that. What is that? That's like a teamwork thing. If we all do that kind of ability again, we tried to do it last time.
The leading what you call it? Lead a
group action.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start a clock there. Pookie subdued. I'm gonna redo the Eugenius Thralled one real quick. One was a 6 o'clock too. All right. Okay, so what are you trying to do in this as this all kind of starts popping off? You see, so just so I have this kind of the setting the scene, right? So the Pookie comes out, Yuki dips into the shadow. He's hiding. Banshee just kind of squares up. Mantis blades are out. She's getting ready. What do you do as this Pookie drops in?
I would probably be trying to see if there's any, like, for lack of a better term on my part, like psychic way to weaken it. Like, I don't think I'm going to be able to break the hold completely that has it compelled, but like, if I can weaken it a little bit and make it easier for these guys to beat up on it.
Distract it somehow.
What'd you say?
I would say like distract it somehow, even like maybe not even break the connection, but kind of like dazzle it. Would be magical charms.
Like breaking the connection sounds pretty cool. I think that would be interesting with some potentially fun consequences for sure. Walk us through that. What does it look like when if Yuna's trying to do that?
Yuna is probably the most boring fight person to watch. Like, Yugi's ducking into the shadows, and Banshee is like mantis blading, and she's literally standing here like thinking about it. Like, I feel these connections, and I feel these things,
Are
but
you
it's
like
all in my
Dr.
head.
X? It's like sitting in a wheelchair.
Right,
know what I think?
exactly.
Zooming on.
So I think like watching our little TV show here, like we kind of dive into Yuna's like mindscape, right? And so we kind of see things as she sees them, like within like her arcane sight, or even as she's like kind of touching the ghost field. So like what does that look like, that mindscape for her, as she's kind of like trying to forge that connection?
To her, it kind of, it looks how we described like the spirit realm when we were walking with the Conga, and there's like, except the scape is all purple and like indigo hues, and there's stars happening, and because we have to look cool, we're anime-esque, her hair kind of blows on that other side as she's kind of like stretching out, and you can see that kind of purple, pinkish, indigo power, if you will, that she is using to kind of prod at these other places on the ghostscape.
So, like, in your mindscape, is it just you, or is it like you and the Pookie? Is it you and the Pookie and the rest of us kind of?
I think what it would be is that, like, the way, how I'm picturing it, if we're talking ghostscape, the things don't even in the real world, things don't always, that are like ghost-y, don't always look solid, right? Sometimes they have that like ethereal and they're kind of fuzzy, or maybe even like smoky looking. In her mindscape, it's all flipped, where anything that was ghostly in the real world is suddenly solid. We are real things here, and everybody else is kind of ghostly and gray. So I can like see that there is still stuff going on, but you guys look like almost like figments of the imagination, or I catch you out the corner of my eye, that sort of thing.
Shadowy versions of ourselves.
Right.
Sick. I love it.
So wait, hold on, straight up like when Frodo puts on the ring, basically.
Yeah, pretty much exactly that, right?
That's exactly
But
what
in
I'm
hues
envisioning.
of purple and pink.
Yeah, for sure.
You're right.
Yeah, inside our own colors. Get the background.
So what action are you going to use for that?
So, and again, I apologize because I think I assigned different meanings to the words than what blades means. It would either be a tune or command, potentially, if I'm trying to like break the hold and insert my own level of command, but I'm definitely open to DM interpretation on that.
So I think a tune can definitely mean, because I think you use a tune to compel spirits.
Okay.
So let me just kind of, you open your mind to the ghost field or channel electroplasmic energy. I mean, that makes sense. Either one, I think, would fit. It's really up to you which one you want to.
We'll go with a tune, since that's how it's written.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I think that would be a very that's a risky. And it's going to start at limited because she is a tier above you guys.
Okay. And if I push myself, I take 2 stress. I can't just take 1.
That's correct. Yeah, pushing yourself costs 2, and you can give yourself an extra die or increased effect. You can also trade position for effect if you want.
Changes it from risky to desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually XP.
Yeah, get the XP.
So I was going to make it risky standard, but
risky
we
standard.
want it desperate limited.
That's up to you.
It wouldn't be limited, right?
It would go for desperate standard if you did that, I think.
So there's two things happening here. So if you were just gonna push yourself, Maggie, you were just wanting to push yourself for the increased effect, right?
Right.
Yeah, that would just take that from risky limited to risky standard.
Okay.
If you traded position for effect, it would take it from risky to desperate. It'd be desperate standard.
What? And I take 2 stress for each of those?
No.
You only do 1.
I could
That's a
totally do
choice.
You can do both. You can do both.
You could do both at the same time.
Yeah. You can trade position and
So you
push
can take
yourself.
4 stress to do both.
You don't. I don't believe you take stress when you trade position.
What do I do then?
So when you're trading position, when you trade position, you're trading risky. You're trading whatever your position is. So risky right now, you're trading that for a higher, riskier position. So you're going from risky to desperate, and that's what that is.
So that doesn't
And
cost any stress, right?
Right. That doesn't cost stress, and that gives you the standard. That gives you standard.
Does
that
it
doesn't
make
cost
me
She
less
could-
likely to succeed?
No. It just
Changes the consequences.
it changes the consequences, but gives you a better effect. So so you're starting at limited. It would try to put you to standard, so you'd be able to just do the thing you wanted to do.
So if she did both, it would go from limited to standard to greater.
Correct. So if you pushed yourself, it would take it up to standard, and if you traded position, it would take it up to desperate. Great. To desperate for great effect.
Holy sh! In my mind, if that great works, what if you can take over the Pookie Pookie?
Damage you credit, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That would be nuts.
Like a twit
How
will totally do that.
would you be?
Yo,
Does that making sense,
Why?
Maggie? I'm sorry. This is all kind of a lot.
it is,
Um,
and it's new, and it's wild.
I don't understand
Let's break it down.
everything.
So you
How
have
big are you want to go home?
Right now, I have on my screen ready to roll desperate standard, and I have taken 2 stress
Okay.
well,
So
because I expect to bump it from risk or from limited to standard.
correct.
And I don't
you
have to
would-
do anything, you said, to change my position, but if it goes wrong, it's gonna go really wrong.
So your initial position is risky. So
Yes.
when you push yourself, you just increase the effect. So you went from limited to standard. So risky standard is where you're at right now if you use your stress.
Yes. But then I was also
Okay.
going to exchange my position. And that's
Okay.
how I got to desperate standard.
No, so
It's
that
desperate
puts you up to
Desperate.
great because you pushed
Oh.
yourself as well. So you
Oh.
are now desperate for great effect.
Okay. I
And so-
might die and become a ghost myself, but we're going for it.
you know what
So
you're going
much-
want.
And so make sure you mark that insight XP as well, because I think you have 2 in there actually, because you did a desperate roll earlier for under a 2, I believe.
I don't know what that means. Is
So-
it just the little white bars on my
Yes.
character sheet? Okay.
Yeah, the ones right next to resolve. You just tap, and those should fill in.
Okay.
Yeah, and then once
Okay.
you fill that bar in, you can put a dot in any of the deals under it. But that's for later on. So we are rolling for desperate for great effect. Let's see what happens. Partial success. Okay. That is maybe the most interesting outcome.
The guys are telling a story.
We're gonna die, man.
Or- So here's what happens.
Hopefully not.
So what happens is, and remember, these things you can resist as well, the consequences that happen, but you can only resist one at a time. So you reach out, you kind of grab this connection. What does it look like as she is able to tear this connection from Jiahua and the Pookie Pookie?
If we're going full anime, we literally are just standing there thinking about it and then slice, and then things kind of crackle just for half a second that everybody can kind of see. But assuming it doesn't all go perfectly, her eyes also go a little crazy.
Yeah, you get as you kind of sever that connection, you get this arcane blowback, and it almost kind of fries your mind. It's almost kind of like Shadowrun hackers. you know, you got hit by some like magic ice, basically, and it kind of like the blowback kind of like fries you a little bit. So it'll be a level 3 harm arcane blowback. She can resist that, of course, if she wants to. That'd be a resolve to resist.
Right.
And
So if I try and fail, do I just keep that?
so you don't
Or
fail.
do-
If you resist, you automatically pass it. In this instance, it would be reduced effect, so it would go from a level 3 to a level 2.
Okay.
But remember, you don't have to, because it's basically costing you stress to do that resistance.
How much stress?
So
the
it's
stress?
6. It'll be 6 minus what is your resolve?
4.
So yeah, it'd be 6 minus 4. 6. You would roll 4 dice, and then whatever the highest dice is, you minus it by that.
No,
So
if you
6 minus
crit
whatever
it,
your
you
highest
can
dice
get
is.
stress back.
Also true. You actually lose stress if you crit.
So the worst I could do is 6.
Well,
I have 2 stress
5.
left, and I would be going into trauma.
That's right. Yeah. So
That
if
sounds
you
fun,
rolled-
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna try and resist it. I have a lot of dice, so maybe I'll get lucky.
Okay. So you're
Yeah,
gonna try to
definitely get
resist.
lucky.
You got 4.
See what
Let's
happens.
go.
So the highest I get is 4.
2 stress.
Do stress.
I think that puts you. Does that put you at trauma? No. It's you. Once you get. So you take 1 more stress.
If I take 1 more stress,
in
I'm
trauma.
done. But right now, I'm just stressed.
Actually, let me just double check that, because I don't know if you fill it up. Is that what hits your trauma, or if it's that plus 1?
I think it's that
Find
plus
out.
1 because Karma has its own bars.
Right. That's what I'm not. Stress and trauma. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, y'all. No, yeah. When you mark your last stress box, you suffer a level of trauma. So she is traumatized.
Oh
from
my
this.
god.
So get to see what trauma Moon Yuna receives. So the trauma conditions are cold, haunted, obsessed, paranoid, reckless, soft, unstable, and vicious.
We
What-
already talked about how she was crazy.
Yeah, what of those kind of point, like what would, like, so let's kind of run it back. So this arcane blowback kind of like blows through Yuna's mind. She's kind of like reeled back. What happens to her in that moment? Like what happens to her, and what trauma kind of like takes hold of her at that moment?
If I was picking, I think she would be haunted because this is all going on in this ghost world of her brain. And I kind of envision it like everything is psychic for her. So it's almost like lightning kind of going literally through those little synapses in your brain. And like, hopefully, eventually you'll be fine, but it's burning that out for the moment. And that's kind of what I picture when that blowback happens. It's
Okay.
almost like you were fucking around with an outlet or something, working on a breaker, and then pss, you get zapped because you shouldn't have been messing with it. That's what happened in her brain.
Totally.
Before. So because that was a partial success, and it was a standard, because I want to learn this too. Standards are technically 2 ticks, but because it's partial, it only gets half.
The grade
Is
is
that-
not standard.
That was
Oh, it was
right.
greater. It was greater. I'm sorry.
Right.
Mhm.
That's only for like. Are you talking about like in terms of clocks?
Like, yeah, because like I'm looking at the thing because I'm trying to learn and understand it. So a greater effect gives 3 ticks. I'm assuming, and that means towards a clock, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
That's
because
for like
it's-
clocks.
Okay, and so because it was partial and it was against the Pookie Subdued, is a partial? Is it half now, or is it just it decreases by 1?
That would be up to me, basically.
Okay.
If
Okay.
that was one of the complications, which I do think I'm going to go for. So that's one of the complications. So just kind of finishing up Yuna here. So once you take that, your stress zeroes out. I think if you just click stress, it'll zero out everything. And normally you're out of the heist for the rest of the run. We're gonna just ignore that for this one because there are alternate rules, but I don't quite remember them for it. So we'll just press on as we are.
Okay.
But that also
Can I get rid of this trauma at some point, or is this just now part of her origin story?
that is part of her origin story.
I think you can get rid of stress by doing like your vices in the downtime, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. But trauma is the game over for a character. Like once she fills in all four, she retires.
Got it.
But we'll go into all of that later. But that also fills in 2 ticks on the Pookie Pookie subdued clock. And so, she suffers that harm. The Pookie Pookie is severed from Jiahua's control, and you kind of hear Jiahua like scream like, "Oh, bitch!" in the other room. But the Pookie Pookie is still in the room with you guys.
No, for sure.
So
it's same scene. She's doing her like magic. Me and Dre are like in the thing.
Like in my head, that all happens, and she has like a nosebleed, just a little bit of blood coming out of her nose, and then she's like, "It's on y'all now."
Totally.
Sit down.
Yeah, and that kind of gives you guys that opening, though. Like her goal was to kind of stop it in its tracks for a second to give you guys that opening, and so now, Banshee, Yuki, Dre, you guys have that this like split second moment to go in and do work. So what do you do?
Do work, man. Go for it.
What I'm envisioning would be for Banshee being the main fighter here. She was the first distraction. He would be the second full on as we're sneaking up for the death blow in the shadows. So what I'm envisioning is him like essentially engaging, giving a good little blow to the thing, and as it steps back, we come with the Rakage and B lariat and take it out.
You're funny. I'm for that too. B. Yeah.
So Banshee, it's up to you. Does that sound like something she would engage in?
Yeah, I guess just like mechanically, do we want like Banshee's thing to be separate and then they roll theirs, or is this like a group action, or what are we thinking?
Yeah. I think that's the intent, was for you to roll as doing her thing, and then I think you two are going to do a group action together, right? That's
our teamwork thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And then D, do you want the not to be trifled with thing?
I mean, that's up to you.
Do you think that would like increase? I guess I don't know. What do you see that functioning for in this?
So I guess like in this instance, it would. Let's see. For the physical force that verges on superhuman. So I think that would take her. It would take it from a like limited to a standard, basically. So like before, she wouldn't have really been able to do as much effectively, but because she is kind of like hulking out like that, she's able to now like kind of meet it on its level. So it would start at a risky standard.
Would that potentially be able to give me an extra die as well? Because then I guess because I can already push myself to do that, right? So like having the ability doesn't really give me an extra bonus then, right?
That's really all I could really argue, I think, in that regard. Because if it gave you bonus dice, it would have that on there. I believe.
Sure. So I guess if I was to like Vanguard it by myself without the ability, it is limited, right?
That's right. I would even say.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like I could push myself without an ability and it goes to risky, or it goes to standard. Or if I could push myself with the ability, it's the same effect. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the two easy ones would be either a die or an additional effect. Because I don't know what else you change on a roll, I guess. Unless it's like, instead of it being risky, it's now controlled, but that doesn't exactly make sense in my head.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I mean, it may just not fit the narrative either, you know?
Yeah, I guess we'll. What's up?
Here's a thought too. I mean, because it is essentially thinking on its own now since it's been severed, the tie, right? So that could kind of downgrade that for it, and then with his increase, maybe that does give it a controlled state, because it is
it's like confused,
right?
It seems like, just from a quick Google, it seems like it makes something possible when it wasn't possible at all before. So like if a 1v1 with a Pookie was not possible at all before, then the ability would come into play.
Okay. Then I think I think that fits the fiction better.
Okay.
And as far as like it reducing like in effect, or like the Pookie like weakening, I mean, it's still a spirit, which is very strong within fiction.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. Even if it's even I would say it becomes more dangerous now that the connection is severed, because now it's kind of doing what its own thing with Wild Abandon. But I don't think that's gonna really change as far as right now any roles.
Cool. So yeah, I'll push myself to become not to be trifled with, take my stress, and then how I see it is like Banshee's got her mantis blades up, and like the Pookie's kind of just like snapping, and she's fucking fighting like this, and her claws are basically going at it to where they're making tons of noise, lots of fucking blood and shit flying. So yeah, she would just be skirmishing with this thing sort of in the middle of this slippery, bloody, gross fucking room.
Okay. And yeah, so since it will start at limited, yeah, so it'll be risky for limited effect.
Okay. Then I guess I'm gonna push for desperate and standard.
Sure, you take your
or not
your
push,
XP.
but change position.
So every time we go to desperate, we get a tick every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that's freaking nuts.
Every time.
That's
cool. That's why you kind of want to push desperate a lot.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I'm feeling that.
Go
So
ahead.
you were just trading position, or were you just pushing yourself for effect?
Trading position.
Okay, so you are
so it's currently
limited. Desperate
standard.
for standard.
Yep. And then does anyone want to assist, or y'all waiting for your own thing on this roll?
No, dude, I like the assist. So added assist from the shadows, like I sling the ball and chain part of the Kusarigama around the neck just to pin it down and to get my own footing. But this adds that like extra little effect to where it like its head is down and it's like
Monster Hunter style, bro. Just fucking no. Right. She does her fucking flip with the mantis blade.
So, just for a little bit of lore, what is on the Kusarigama?
It's a hard word, bro. I'm with you, man.
Because it's the unusual weapon. With his Kusarigama, it's like that cold iron, I think it is, or silver, basically, that deals with the undead. But it's this like ball and chain on the other side, but it has like like a spike at the end of the ball. So like when it wraps around and it hooks into the neck of this thing, on the other side is the kusarigama, which is like this nasty sickle or kama that's like got like teeth in the bottom of it that's just ready to rend. So
sick nasty.
Serrated comma.
And I apologize, I forgot to also tick this clock up for the door being busted down from Yuna's roll. So that went up 2 ticks as well. So there's one tick left.
So that's for every action from us, or is that after a scene?
That is after a roll.
That is after a roll. Oh wow!
After a roll. So these clocks don't go up until they only go up like generally as a consequence of whatever your roll happened. And again, there can be multiple consequences per roll.
I'm learning something now. I thought it was at the end of a scene, like a round. This makes it even more desperate.
Yeah,
Woo!
buddy. All right. So, Banshee, you got that roll.
Got your love. Get that.
And
What
then,
we're doing.
and Mo, you took your stress to give me 1 die.
Yes, sir.
All right, copy. Hey.
Boom, you do it.
Let's freaking go.
So that is a desperate for standard. So that's 2 ticks on the Pookie subdued clock. So yeah, Banshee, what does it look like as the cootie wraps around the Pookie?
The Cootie Nabi ninja tool comes up and straps down his head. And yeah, I think I have this vision of like Banshee fucking flipping and the fucking mantis blades just like spinning like a saw. I don't know if that's physically possible, but that's what she thinks she's fucking doing. Maybe it's all in her head. But yeah, just fucking a fucking buzzsaw like chopping at this thing's neck.
Nice, yeah, and you're seeing like the ghostly parts of its eyes. You're chopping off like the lower half of its jaw. It like falls to the ground and just like the sickly ectoplasmic grossness. It just kind of fades away.
Gross.
Every bit of the piece you're slicing off just kind of fades into the ghost field.
Nice.
But it's still kind of like up and thrashing around. But the combined efforts of Yuna and the ninja in the shadows has kind of kept it locked down for the second. But you see Jiahua kind of in the other room. She kind of hear her kind of curse as she sees the Pookie being kind of subdued, and she kind of like does this little gesture, starts casting magic from the other room, and you see this like arcane sigil below all of you. These dark tendrils kind of blow up and start grasping. You kind of feel the life draining from you and passing up into the Pookie.
This bitch.
That's trash.
And so,
come on.
So, what will we do here?
This is horrible. We are already in a hard situation.
So this would be a resolve resistance roll, I think. So this would resist level 1 drained. Resisting just avoids it. You're able to just like avoid that draining. And the Pookie is not. And so what happens if you don't?
That's cool. I'm sorry, I get excited about my sickness, y'all.
So what happens if you don't resolve this? Basically, the Pookie gets some of its clock back, effectively.
No.
I need y'all not to fail your resolve rolls.
So wait, if we don't do a resolve roll, this takes place, or is this something that we have to take an action on to stop from happening in the future?
See, this is where I get tripped up.
Sure.
Because I wanted to do an action, because I felt like that makes sense for the clock. But the resolve action also makes sense to me.
Dre's dead. Anyways.
Because I don't really want to take this resistance. So it's like if I don't do it, I'll take the drained, which I'm fine with. But if I don't do it, then the Pookie gets his shit back. Is that
and I'll say, you know, for the for the scene, it would get like a max of 2 back. So like, let's say you so who's already done the resolve? Yuki
all of them?
and
Everybody but me.
So like in this instance, then yeah, I would just say it would get one pie back, basically. If you chose not to. It'd be basically a pie per person, I suppose.
So I took 5 stress. I only had 2 left. What happens? Am I dead?
Did you max out to trauma?
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Your trauma. Reckless.
Yeah, you hit trauma.
Right.
So well, you have 2 left, or did that take you past that 2?
That's gonna take me past that too.
Okay, so yeah, you hit your first trauma. So we'll deal with that in a second.
God bless.
So Banshee,
I may have
it's up to you.
forgotten that trauma was permanent. I might have made different choices.
Thank you, baby.
So mechanically, these trauma people, are they going to be able to take actions on this heist?
For now, yeah. Just because I want everyone to be able to keep playing. But there are rules for like continued play in a heist after trauma. I had to find them. I forgot them. But for now, we'll handle that later.
Okay. Sorry, I'm really thinking through this shit. So if I don't do this, it's gonna heal, goes back up to 3 out of 6.
Correct.
If I do this, it stays at 4 out of 6, but I probably trauma as well, which just means I get trauma, but I get to keep doing shit. For now, for this heist, for the tutorial. And,
Tutorial, yeah.
Yeah.
and I like trauma. I would like to have a single trauma. So I guess I'll fucking...
Welcome.
I guess I'll just fucking resist and see what happens.
Yeah, you may not take any.
Oh!
Take 1 stress.
We got 1 left.
There you go. See?
See? Look at you.
See, it's that easy, guys. I don't know what y'all doing.
So yeah, the
Question though.
what's up?
So I only had 2, right?
Mhm.
But I took 5.
It doesn't carry over.
Okay, that was my
No. You just zero out as soon as you hit stress, and so
Awesome.
you take your 1 trauma. So yeah, out of those
Can't
traumas,
click the trauma.
you had to click the actual like whichever one.
All the big words beside it, that's the type of trauma. I'm guessing you're going to be reckless, but you might surprise us.
Yeah, which one stands out to you, and what does that look like for Dre in this moment?
I'm gonna go with unstable, being that my eardrums are busted, my leg is messed up. I feel like that's
He's literally unstable right now.
physically, not even mentally unstable. I am physically unstable.
Yeah, Dre went through it. You went through it. Yeah, you have little regard for your own safety. Or no, I'm sorry. You went unstable. Your emotional state is volatile. You can instantly rage or fall into despair, act impulsively, or freeze up.
Dude, freaking rage. I want to rage.
Yeah, and what does that look like in this moment? You know, as these tendrils kind of come up and try to drain the life from you guys, and you guys kind of fight it off. Like, what does it look like for Dre that it kind of sends him over the edge like this?
So I'm in the shadow and it sneaks up on me. So at that point, like, it kind of hits my life essence and I fight it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so triggered at this point that I am trying to do what I do, be a ninja, and coming from a noble, magical family, you know, and just feeling like I'm getting outdone by everything that I'm supposed to be good at. Like, the magic is getting me. I'm being snuck up on by magic. Why I'm sneaking, like, and you can see that he's kind of having like a just mental break, physically going down, and it's like trying to do everything he can to stay in the moment.
Just kind of snaps him in the second right there. That's cool. That is cool. But yeah, you know that those tendrils come out. You guys fight them off in each of your own way. Doesn't take hold of you guys. You know, you hear more swearing from the adjacent room. And so our ninjas, we're gonna try and finish this thing off. What does that look like? And who's leading the action?
I'm leading the action.
Okay.
So I honestly, it's that moment where like the chain wraps around and the tendrils are coming, and I was like, Urusai! And then like from my own shadow, like kinsmen from the shades like cut the tendrils, and then like I just like launch forward with the lariat, but it's like with the kusarigama, the sickle part. And it's like from the shadow, I'm kind of like reaching out to Dre to like snap him out and like pull him a little bit closer. So it's like it's gonna be Prowl because we're coming from the shades.
Sure.
And then just to see what Dre does if he feels that connection from the shadow.
So my thought process is, especially with the trauma hitting me, as soon as he does that, the shadow, the tendrils off of him, it's like his shadow effect rolls through the room and cuts mine as well, and that's what gets me back for that quick second. And as the shadow is drawing closer, I come with my dagger, meeting his sickle at the neck of the Pookie.
Nice. So I think this is definitely a risky for standard. You guys have definitely, like, all the setup has led to this moment, and so you have got it in the crosshairs. Dre, for your role though, you will take a -1 for this because of your fractured leg. So that level 2 harm is going to affect you on this one. So you both are rolling Prowl.
Yeah. And I'm gonna definitely push myself, and then, or is it adjust to make it desperate greater?
You can do both. You can trade your position for more effect, and also push yourself for more effect if you want to.
Okay, and so the changing position again, that's another stress?
No. Trading position, you just do it.
Oh, okay.
So you go from risky to desperate, and then you get the great effect now.
Okay, so potentially I could lose 3 stress, because if he gets under a 3 or below, that adds a stress to me, right?
That's right. Yeah.
For the teamwork thing. Okay,
yeah,
so
he gets 1 to 3, you could take stress. You take 1 stress for 1.
And could I change my position as well for? Okay.
Are you wanting to trade position for effect as well?
Yeah.
So you're going desperate. So both of y'all are desperate for great?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what happens. Success.
Oh, desperate for great.
Yeah,
no,
you take
the success, but we take
the highest.
Yeah,
you take the highest roll, and you don't suffer any stress because your highest was a 4, I believe.
Yep.
So
let's freaking go, bro.
Tell me what it looks like when you guys take out this Pookie.
Oh, go start us off.
And remember, this is great effect, so you guys annihilate this thing.
Yeah, start it off, bro.
It's like the lariat. So he snaps me out, and he almost Shikamaru draws me closer with the shadow.
Yeah.
And so as I'm being pushed forward through his will, I meet his sickle with my dagger. And have you ever played Onimusha and you see the
yes yeah,
so like when they meet, all you see is that and the thing's head just
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And as it falls, as it just kind of like dissolves into the ghost field, you see like the air kind of ripple around you. You hear like the screams from the other side of the ghost field, like all these kind of spirits wanting to kind of push through, but you see like the hazy images of them on the other side as it dissolves. to that side, and it kind of tears the remaining pieces of it apart. You just see all these like shadows descend on it and eat the remains.
That's what I was gonna say too. Oh god.
Hell yeah.
Oh, sick. We were all the same thought process. I love it.
And yeah, so you see Xiaohua on the other side going, God damn it. You got an opportunity to get to that door and see how you get through. What do you guys do?
We're getting to it, man. Like after doing it, we don't have time to celebrate. It's an immediate run to the door and then see what we need to do. Is is it glass? Can we break it? Can I lock pick it? Whatever it is.
Yeah, I was gonna try to lock pick it if we could.
Yeah, you see that the door is actually kind of a mix of both standard mechanical lock and arcane lock. As you kind of are able to kind of discern it in the half second you're running up on it.
Yoon, to the door.
Yoon is tied down. He can't move.
I think he meant Yuna.
Yuna. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't verbally respond, but I'm coming. My nose is bleeding. My head. I got a headache now, but I'm coming. Okay, coming to the door.
Why is the rum always gone?
So
she's having that kind of night.
And so yeah, this is like I said, it's a mix of both. So it's gonna take a little time to get through. So let me get rid of Pookie one. This is another little 4 block. Unlock door.
Oh, so y'all can do a teamwork thing together, right? Oh no, because unless you have an attune kind of thing, CJ.
I do.
I think yours would just be better to finesse the lockpick, and then you Moon just doing her own attune.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to. And before y'all ask, I actually have what this in my brain would look like. It's literally a knot, but in my little mindscape, a knot. And so I'm trying to untie these knots. So y'all can't see me, but I'm working at something, trying to untie this lock.
Are you you're using a tune for that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's a risky for standard.
I legit just imagine Scarlet Witch and Raven combined with you.
Yeah, basically.
Your eyes freaking glow and you're just all Azarath Metrion.
I need to practice my Elizabeth Olsen hand things because it's very much
I freaking
vibe.
like it.
Yeah. I'm digging it.
Super love it.
And would mine be finesse -1?
Are you so are you doing a separate deal, or are you helping her out? Oh,
I don't need the help, but somebody needs to do the physical.
I was doing a lot.
Y'all need to pause on these rolls. Just be doing it.
Sweet. So yeah, that fills in 2 ticks. Yuna, as you are untying the arcane knot of it, and as she kind of snaps it open, the you see kind of this little poof of magic. Dre, as you're working, and so what are you doing with the mechanical lock?
So again, lock picks out, going at it, just trying to see if I can get that, pop it open.
Absolutely. Yeah, same risky standard.
Is there any minuses or just regular roll?
I don't think so. Not for this. Yeah, I don't think your harms would affect you in this way.
Okay.
Let's go. Good job, team.
Easy, bro. What door? What door?
And immediately, Banshee and you go in there and just attack her.
So yeah. Again, I've done my part. Y'all gotta go now.
Can be true.
Yeah, and
have fulfilled their duties.
And yeah, that doesn't even need a roll. You know, she was a necromancer. She had all of her minions doing her shit for her. So yeah, what does it look like when you run in and just gang on this chick?
Yeah, so I would just bust through the door. Well, the door slides open. I don't bust through, okay? I'll do all this shit. It fucking slides open, and yeah, I just go stomping through.
Come here, bitch.
I feel like like he slices her up one way, and then I noob Cybot her. I come from her own shadow and just like bisect her in the middle.
Yeah, like she's like backing away as you get in. She's like, "The Covenant will get you, you fucking bitches!" And then you come in and just.
I think when you're doing that, I think Banshee would have walked forward, just had one mantis like slice her throat, so like she's stumbling back as like blood's like she's going to bleed out from that, and you're just like, nah, like you're being too cruel. We need to end her now. Banshee's like, no, fuck that bitch. She's dead. Who cares?
But I will like so like he does that, and then I'm like finish it. So it's like cuts her head off, and then puts it in a bag, and it's like we'll give it to him after this.
Yeah, you need to have 4.
Huh? Proof.
Well, remember,
proof.
And it's other things. Don't worry about it.
Well, remember, this is a Power Within world. Bodies dissolve.
Oh, take her shard.
Yeah. So this shard would not infer any XP. It's like a tier 0.
There's a reason why, and it's
right.
My vice.
Isn't there a way that we can preserve parts of the body, not permanently, but like temporarily? Because I thought we were doing that a bit with like the monster hunts, to where like we could kind of keep the meat of the monster for a little bit to get used for shit. Just for flavor wise, if Mo wants to kind of like fucking lace up this bitch's head to where he can keep it, and then Banshee really would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?
I mean, I'm totally cool with that. Like, I mean, even in the lore for like the monster hunters in the guidebook, there's a position of carver that is specifically for that. Like,
right.
There are people who are like experts at like preserving those pieces enough to get them back to the city. So yeah, we can totally say like that's something people know how to do or are able to do.
Certain people, I would think.
I do think it would require an action roll though to be able to do it quickly enough.
Because there's zombies busting down a door.
There's zombies busting down that door. So what
are zombies? Finesse.
Okay. Yeah, that would. So let's see here. I'm sorry. So that would definitely account for like getting it done in a quickness. But do we say like does preserving these pieces like require like any kind of magic? Does it require like an actual like item like a preserve? Like maybe some sort of alchemical item? Like maybe you have to just spend a item slot to be able to actually do that as well. You know?
No, I would like that if that's something I could do as like maybe it could be an arcane implement that I could potentially have, where the arcane implement it's to basically store the shards, but it's big enough to where it's like it's got part of her head. I can her head, just her head. I could just put that in with her shard and be like, save that for later.
Yeah, no, I love it.
I also, as a second or a separate thing, I sort of can see like a runic thread that you could like quickly stitch up to where it like holds the essence a bit, because like the carvers I could picture definitely doing that. Like they're very good at fucking sewing it back to where you can transport it.
Yeah,
and it's
that could. I think the combination of that just sounds really cool. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, just mark off like arcane implement, and I think this would be a risky standard.
Risky standard. We're in a desperate situation, man. I'm stressed out. I'm gonna.
Well, I mean, you guys have killed the biggest threats. Like the zombie horde is close, but it's not.
It hasn't busted down the door.
They haven't busted down. They're not completely through the door yet. You guys are good.
I hope while I'm doing this, somebody's getting Yi Jun.
Yeah, he is still strapped down.
Critical success.
Great success. So yeah, you are able to preserve like several pieces of Jiahua for whatever your twisted heart is desiring.
Yeah.
And because she was the necromancer and those are hollows, where are their shards at? Are they in this room?
It's an interesting question. One that could potentially be answered.
Does with that critical success and how fast I am, can I do a look?
I think I'm wondering if this information would be something that y'all would be privy to. I think so. So some necromancers, a lot of them actually, what they will do is they will break down their hollows soul shards into like a mixture and consume it, or find some way to inject it within themselves so that they have like a permanent hold on them. It basically just continuously keeps them in control of their hollow, and so that it can't be stolen away from them, basically.
Sick.
So I have the head of said necromancer.
Now it is functionally connected to their like attunement, their spiritual force. So like getting control of hollows through the head would be close to impossible.
Okay. So I can't Medusa head it.
Not saying
Right.
you couldn't. It would just be a very rough roll. That'd be a very tough roll to do.
I gotcha. I'll take it to the great shadow.
Lore-wise happens with the hollows if their necromancer is killed?
They bite it. They, much like the Pookie that had its connection severed, they just become free range. Basically, they just become
free range zombies.
Free range zombies.
Pretty sweet.
They have the best meat.
So yeah.
Crazy. But now we have to get out of here.
So I assume that you guys free Yi Jun from his shackles. He said he gives you his thanks. He says there's a escape hatch right there, and he kind of like shows you this like little hatch right like over in the corner. You can like pop that open and just kind of bop through. It takes you down to like to the next level through like an easy little hallway.
Convenient.
Yeah, she was about to run, but y'all got through that door real quick. And so you guys get through it. You lead Yi Jun out of the Shintori apartments.
And only two of us came out traumatized.
And only two of you guys came out traumatized from it.
Dang it.
I'd say that's a win.
And I wanted trauma.
But congrats on completing your first heist, team.
And we get the max coin, baby.
And you get the max coin. So yeah,
let's freaking go.
To kind of finish it out, you guys go and meet Asui in Silk Road. You guys lead Yi Jun like a little bit south out to Silk Road, and there's like a little bit of an armored coach, and she's kind of sitting there waiting at the designated time, fanning herself as per usual, very dramatic. You bring Yi Jun up, and you guys like to kind of just like usher him off over to her when you guys come up.
I'll walk halfway.
Okay.
And kind of like whisper in his ear, like, say nothing of the head.
Yeah, he kind of looks at you, and then he looks at her, and he says, "Do I know you, miss?" She says, "You will soon. I am your very new friend and benefactor. Please come in. We'll be taking you to a safe location." And he kind of looks around very nervously. Doesn't see. There's no one's gonna like do anything else for him. So he very nervously walks to the
your life
cabin.
is spared for now.
So she's about to leave, right? Oswey?
She's standing. She's standing there for the moment.
But before they like gather up to leave, Banshee wants to talk to her.
Yeah. What'd she say?
The Zara person. Should we be concerned with this?
Zara? Well, as I told you, the as again, still fanning herself. The Covenant, the Moonlight Covenant, will almost certainly be aware of this setback for themselves. This Jiahua was one of their potential apprentices, so I would expect.
Zara was her mentor or something.
Zara is the head witch of the Covenant. She will.
I don't keep up with witches much, so.
I don't blame you. Most don't.
Fucking witches.
That's right.
But I would expect at least some notice from them for this in particular. And if there is nothing else, she once again kind of like flips her hand and a little crane flaps over to you, Yuki. They did drop for your payments. You will find it there safe and secure. Good job, everyone. I'll be recommending your services. Well done.
Of course.
See you.
Until next time.
She kind of crawls into the cabin, says, "We have much to discuss, Mr. Yijun," as the door closes and the stagecoach rumbles off into the distance. So
Yuki, what are you doing with that?
What am I doing with what?
You know what I'm talking about.
My business is my business. Yours is yours, right?
I mean, fair. I don't know how all this magical shit works, but I'm just concerned that maybe you don't bring that back to the hideout.
Oh, of course not. And put my hand on your shoulder. Don't worry, my friend.
No tracing, you know. We can't have them fuck up our shit.
Do not worry. There's a safe place I'm taking her. You will never have to worry about it.
Alright, well, enjoy yourself. I'll see you guys, I guess. Are you guys hungry? I'm hungry.
Hit the ramen shop.
You can hit the ramen shop before I go.
Are you guys gonna go get your payment first?
Yeah, we gotta get our money.
We gotta get the payment. That's how we pay for the ramen.
Yeah, I guess we need to get some money.
Yeah, we gotta get the money to get the food.
So yeah, the dead drop is kind of in a little grotto. It's actually fairly in the same general neighborhood as your hideout. It's in this little grotto, and it's like kind of hidden. Like you see these like several like false bricks, and the note kind of told you which brick to remove and get. And you see the 10 coin there. There's like this sleeping bum on the other side. And he kind of stands up as you guys get your money, goes and nods, and then kind of shuffles off into the darkness.
I don't know if he does. I don't know. I would at least Banshee would make sure that he is actually a drunk and not an actor portraying a drunk who saw this and is like, I found their spot.
I will give you
if it's at all a thing, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
She would be cautious about
Yuki
people
would
watching.
know that. Yuki would know that this is pretty standard for Syndicate in terms of payments. They want to make sure that the payment goes to the right person.
Okay, so there would be some sort of insurances outside of there is unlikely someone else gets to our ship before we do. Then I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're basically there to make sure you guys get your money.
Perfect.
So payoff, you guys get 10 coin.
We sound rich.
Rich bitch. So that could fill up the 4 slots in your coins coin vault on Smoke on the Water. So you can fill that in. I filled that in if that's what you want. And then the 6 can be divided amongst yourselves as you wish.
Damn, all my clicky things ain't clicking.
Yeah, my clicky things ain't. There we go. I had to
Oh yeah, I had to do that too. To refresh.
They working now, boss.
So we all got 2 coin.
No.
No,
I'll take
bro,
just
that is
one.
not how that works.
I'll take just 1. The rest of you can take 2.
So we
I thought
have.
you for. Hold on, no. Was only have 6, right?
We have 6, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
sorry,
I'll-
you have 10. I put 4 in the crew, but you don't have to do that.
Oh,
I feel like we probably would though, right?
What's the benefit of having it in there for the crew?
It's just a storage space for the coin right now, because you can only hold, I believe, 2
What's on your
coin on
stash?
yourselves,
oh.
and
You
then
can hold 4. It looks like.
so yeah, you can hold 4 personally, and then if you put something in the stash, it's to take it out costs 2 coin. So it's
Yeah.
2 for 1 when you put it in the stash.
Yeah. I'm fine with just taking 1. You guys can divvy up the rest if you want. But I like the fact that we have 4 in our crew for right now to hold, just in case we needed to like pay off heat or do any like increases.
Right.
Totally. So Yuki takes 1, everyone else taking 2.
I mean, that
Well, somebody
is
else
mathematically
is taking 1.
impossible. Yeah.
Yeah, so one other person is taking 1.
Lil J taking 1.
I guess we'll say LJ for right now. We'll take that 1.
No, I'm good taking the 1. Let the Ninja Bros take 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
Little J ain't getting no money, so
We took it out of the equation.
Moon gets 2, Banshee gets 2, and the Hokages get 1.
Moon is taking
Lil
her
J.
because she got a trauma. Her brain hurts. Give me my coin.
Freaking Drake took trauma.
I was gonna say that the 2 traumatized people should get 2, but then he stepped up and volunteered not to. So that's his choice.
He's the man.
Brain
His
damage.
trauma speaking.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
So as part of the payoff, you have a tithe. You after every heist you pay to your prime boss, basically the people that got you set up, which I believe for you guys was the Onikoshi, the Onihoshi. I'm sorry.
Onimusha.
Give him 1.
So is that to? Hold on. Who do you pay that to?
Ally. Do we have it in allies and enemies?
No. I'm looking for. I gotta go because I'm looking at like a condensed version of payoff, but I need to see like specific thing. I'm sorry. Payoff. Take 2 rep.
Ooh, and we get to do XP for ourselves and crew.
Downtime.
Yeah.
The favorite time. The best time. Downtime.
Okay. That's only if you have a crime boss in the district payoff. And I don't think you guys have one in where you're at right now. Actually, actually, it would be the Nikori. If I think. You know what, for right now I'm gonna ignore that. I just
Cool.
So we'll say for right now that's not the case. But so your crew earns 2 rep by default for the score. The target of the score is higher tier than you. You take another rep.
We get 3.
You get 3. I'm filling them in right now. If
Heck
you
yeah.
So if you keep the operation quiet, I needed to go to. So silent operation, if no one knows about it, gain no rep. So if you keep the operation completely quiet, so no one knows about it, you earn 0 rep. That's not the case. You've got your coin. So heat. So this one. So let's see. Was it smooth and quiet, contained, loud and chaotic, wild? What do y'all think?
Read that again. I'm sorry.
So 0 heat would be smooth and quiet, low exposure. 2 heat would be contained, standard exposure. 4 heat, loud and chaotic, high exposure. 6 heat would be wild, devastating exposure.
I feel like we were contained or lower, in my opinion.
I think contained.
I would think
would
like
make-
2,
Yeah.
So contained.
because it was a little loud, but it felt contained to the building at least.
Right.
Yeah. It popped off a little bit, but it was still pretty contained, I'd say. So
Yeah.
2 heat for that. Heat for a high profile or well connected target. Technically, yes. Yeah, she was a potential apprentice to a high level witch. Add 1 heat if happened on hostile turf. Nope. 1 heat if you're at war with another faction. Nope.
Not
2
yet.
heat. Add +2 heat if killing was involved. Certainly was.
We murderated some folks.
Golly,
What's
it's
that?
the
3
heat. The heat's racking up right now.
So you're at
We're at
5 heat.
5.
Yeah, 5 heat. But yeah, actually pretty contained, all things considered.
Yeah.
You guys did pretty well for a first run. And so that is heat. And then roll. Oh, and then we roll entanglements. And that is 1d per wanted level. So I think I roll 2d6 and take the lower for that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So a 5.
Damn.
So rivals or unquiet did. A neutral faction threatens you, a friend, a contact, or vice purveyor forfeit 1 rep or 1 coin per rival tier or stand up to them and -1 faction status. Or a rogue spirit is drawn to you. Need whisper or railjack to deal with it or deal with it yourself. I'm gonna say that a neutral faction threatens you, and that faction is the Moonlight Covenant. And
Who saw
That makes
coming?
sense.
they and we'll get into what they did later, but you can forfeit 1 rep or 1 coin to stand up to them, or 1 coin per rival tier, and that just kind of nips it in the bud, or you stand up to them and gain a -1 faction status.
What y'all think?
I want to say we nip it in the bud for right now.
Yeah, it feels easy just to call it a 9 coin op instead of a 10 coin op.
Right, because we took a big hit. We got 2 traumas. And we need to chill. we got some heat on us right now too, so let's simmer down for a bit.
Absolutely.
We'll take one of those coins away.
Okay, paying off 1 coin.
Yeah.
And again, we'll deal with what all that looks like next time.
Cool. You want to save the XP for next time too, or like try and get that done earlier, or what?
We can bang out the crew XP right here, I think, but then we can save the individual ones for next time because that's going to take a while, I think.
Okay.
So make sure I got all the downtime shit done. Yeah, or payoff stuff done. Yeah, for the crew, did you execute a successful accident, disappearance, murder, or ransom operation?
Hell yeah, we did.
Yeah, absolutely did.
Stead Mark II if it happens.
If it occurred multiple times.
Gotcha. We did. We killed 2 things.
I guess you did. I guess you did kill the Pookie.
And the necromancer.
So that counts for sure. Contend with challenges above your current station. I would say their tier was above your guys' tier, so
I like it.
Definitely. Bolster your crew's reputation to develop a new one. Absolutely. You guys were daring as fuck.
Hell yeah.
We were daring.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. I don't know that we know that much about the crew yet.
I don't know if we know that yet, honestly.
Well, I thought wouldn't that fall under the daring thing that we picked?
No,
that was the last one.
That'd be kind of like doubling up. This is more like what is Smoke on the Water trying to achieve in the city? Like what is their ultimate goal?
I would say potentially we expressed our nature of the crew with our Pookie fight. Like, you know, Banshee's sort of the vanguard tank. You've got the Whisperer doing her magical thing, and then the sneaky ones doing their thing, and that's sort of the nature of how we interact, is how I would argue that, but it's I guess nature-wise, I don't know.
I think the Pookie fight definitely highlighted with how our crew at peak would go at it.
Would operate. I mean, it's down to the crew. So Maggie,
I would say
agree?
Yeah, I would say that highlights the nature of our crew, but not like goals, drives, or conflict, but like our nature was sort of highlighted at that point.
I even with like some of the skill moments too, where it was like you had the nature where like obviously Banshee is the beef, and then you had like Dre doing the technical stuff, and then you know Moon doing her magical stuff with the doors and stuff. Like we all had like our different things, but it was like a cohesive unit. In my mind, I feel like we did in combat and out of combat. But
okay, we'll go ahead and fix that. So you're at 5 crew XP.
I mean, in like as far as like our goals and stuff, you were able to extract the body parts and reserve that and stuff for future ones.
That's potentially for my character's XP moment, because that's my belief in my vice and stuff like that. So that's going to be important for me. That's pretty much why I did it.
So yeah, I think that's more character instead of crew specific.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we will we'll pause it there and we'll do character XP next time and downtime. First downtime.
This was an awesome episode.
Yeah,
it was dope.
Jeez.
I really enjoyed that one, man. Y'all brought the game, brought those big ass imaginations, man.
Yo, just the whole scene set up for Pookie was awesome.
That Pookie shit went exactly the way I was hoping it would go. Y'all did some cool action with that.
That was awesome.
You summoned them into the realm. Like that was good stuff, man.
I did that one specifically for you. I was like, Mo's gonna love this one. I know it.
Yes, I will.
Bro, I loved it too because it was like we definitely like I injected the monsters into the world just because I think they're fucking sick, and them being injected further into like this part of the world, not just like. Yeah, no, they exist outside of the city where trained monster hunters go and hunt them. Like, nah, motherfucker, this one got a hold of it somehow. And fucking... That's sick, man. That's cool.
The picture of it, too, with the black and white, really made it look like ghostly.
Yeah, it was cool.
I freaking loved it. GG's, man.
GG.
D, are you expecting to do... like this downtime session this next time, and then I'm assuming we still have like 2 weeks or something like that without Levi? Are you trying to do anything else, or just call it kind of done at that point?
I've got.
I don't know how long Levi's actually gonna be.
Yeah, I was running on the assumption that I was the main game for right now.
Okay.
So I've got scores for days.
Scores for days. I love to hear it.
And again, like, y'all can generate scores yourselves as well. Like, if you have, as we're doing downtime and you guys are doing the role play through there, sometimes you'll just be like, this is something I want my character to do, or this is something we're trying to set up. So it'll be more natural once we start really getting into it. But
yeah,
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, no,
me
this
too.
is fun
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate it.
Sick.
Awesome.
Yep.